as my disco ball turns. Hopefully, you all had a great night and you are now enjoying spring break. Are the kids being gentle on initiation? Are they being gentle? Mine's is not. He's definitely taken off his school stomach, okay? Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to your neighborhood love dealer. How are you? Welcome to the dosage. What's going on in the spiritual streets? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Happy birthday. Congratulations. Thanks to all my new subs. And thanks for hitting that like and share button. I'll be saying that more often because, hey, that's part of the thing now. That's what people do. And yeah, let's get ready to get started. Happy April Fool's Day to those who, take heed to that. And happy normal day to the fools. For one day, it is not that you guys show up. You show up pretty much 365, but hey, they decided to acknowledge you for one stinking day. Here's your day. Congratulations to those who are going into the month of April, looking forward to their birthdays and their plans. Congratulations to the kids who are actually getting to spend more time, getting to do those hobbies, getting to do those things that they need to do to get to the next phase of things. What about that little entrepreneur thing that you thought you would want to do in school with some of your schoolmates? Maybe you have a sibling. Maybe you can do that with one of your parents. There are so many things to do with the kids. You can make Play-Doh. You can make slime. You can also just teach them the ins and outs of things, teach them wrong and right, teach them about friends and the friend dynamic, teach them about peer pressure. Definitely have that Epstein's talk with them before other kids do it, and then they get it all crisscrossed. Okay, so now we're in the age of Aquarius, and honestly, the kids have already been there. It's just that we weren't able to explain it because we were still trying to navigate the things that we had going on with us. Now that we're here, much better. Now that we're here, it's too bright still. Much better. Yeah. Now that we're here, so it's time for us to really assist in their learning journey because they need to know why granddad acts like that. They need to know why the uncle acts like that. They need to know why the people on the corner are not so good. They need to know, understand? It's not good to shelter them anymore because they're not being sheltered by the rest of the world. You may have held back a lot of information from your kid coming up, and you felt as though you were doing good because you felt as though their minds couldn't process it. And while that was true, guess what? There was somebody that was not you that didn't care. They didn't give a shit. They they felt good. It was almost a sinister laugh when they realized that your kid, your kid, you're supposed to be the best parent in the world. You're supposed to be perfect. You're supposed to be. I got your kid in my grasp, and I'm about to give them the most busted information ever. And I'm going to check on you and your kid every so often because I need to see if that damaging information has infiltrated you, your family, or your home. Because how dare you try to live good? How dare you try to shelter your kid? How dare you try to protect your kid from me and my lifestyle? I think I'm pretty rad. My kids aren't opened up in the hospital, or at least not yet, or at least I don't know. You understand? So you have to be proactive in giving information. You need to start having these talks as soon as you see the child staring off or staring into the space that you're in. It's not good to shoo them away anymore. Oh, you got to stay out of grown folks' faces. But I'm always in grown folks' spaces. This was your space before I was born. So you need to explain it to me. And ignorance is definitely not bliss as we go forward. We are entering a time and space where things are going to go fast, fast, fast. We weren't really prepared for when, Bill Gates and all of them hit us with IBM. We weren't prepared for how fast those things were going to go. Now things are going to go in warp speed, okay? Like faster than, you hitting okay or post. So things are going that way. So it's best for us to really start giving up the information and being prepared to support and being prepared to for the fallout, because someone's going to be upset with the fact that you were able to destroy their lie because you were able to support with the truth. I watched a great movie yesterday called A Wrinkle in Time, the one with Alfred Woodard. I wouldn't watch it with Winfrey. Even though I did love her in Color Purple, that was the most humblest role I felt like she had, because like she was still her. So yeah, after that I'm done. So now that The Wrinkle in Time was a great movie. It was good as far as you don't want to keep your child ignorant to the fact of things, because people lurch toward that. They love that. So an ignorant child is definitely an unprotected child. So if you definitely are the one who is basically responsible for not giving your child the knowledge that they needed, now's the time to do it. I'm not here to shame you, but I am here to say there is no knowledge that your child does not need. There is no knowledge that your child does not need at this point. You should be in there like swimwear, and there is no question that you should ask your child that should not go unanswered. The reason why is because we have these little geniuses that are very fresh, and they have different scopes of things. See, as a child, because you're so non-threatening, people come at you in all different ways. And this is your window to take all this stuff and bring it back and say, look, mom, dad, you be my Encyclopedia Britannica, because I don't know what these people's intentions are by giving me this information. And this is your time to give it to your child then and there. Because if you get on a certain side of that child's age and they feel as though you have not, you really sound like a retard. And I hope you take your medicine, babe. I'm going to need you to go somewhere and repeat that to someone who cares. Anyway, if you get on the wrong side of the age with that child will resent you for holding back information. And then the child will, sorry to say, you will be raising your own enemy. You will be raising your own oppressor, because now your child, especially if it's getting the wrong information and it's getting the wrong structural information, they're going to see you as a threat, because why didn't you give me the information? Why did these strangers give me the information that I needed when you were supposed to be the source? You understand? So there are a lot of parent and children dynamics right now that are being in total upheaval, because they're finding out that their parents weren't the source that they thought they were. And if it isn't directly a parent, it is someone within their realm that was within their village that took it upon themselves to distort some things. Okay. So that part. And something I wanted to say, I remember when I first moved in this neighborhood or whatever, I asked the people that are around, I was like, well, so what happened to the last person that was in that house? And they gave me a really vague answer. Well, I don't know. She just disappeared somewhere. Right. And I look in people's faces when they give me answers and things. So when I saw that, I just looked and I was like, suspicious enough. But you know what? Thinking back, I'm a movie buff, sorry. Thinking back, it reminds me of, remember what they said about the security guards in Friday when they were at the Christmas Friday, when they were like, remember what happened to those last security guards? And nobody knew what happened to the last security guards, right? And then come to find out, the hood is what happened to the last security guards. They had a bunch of derelicts that were raised by two karmic grandparents. And for some reason, they became the generational monsters of the neighborhood. And no matter what Section 8 they moved out on, no matter if they did get approved in the county somewhere, they always found their way back to the hood to destroy the hood. And you always got that ratchet grandma, or that ratchet grandma, or that ratchet, some older old head on the block that always feels like they're gangster. I'm gonna call my little YNs. I'm gonna call them, and they gonna jump on your butt. And I'm like, you elders can't teach anyone anything because you guys have become the problem. And then your grandkids have become the problem. And the problem in between that is the people in between have to pay the taxes. They have to bail their little asses out. They got to visit your old ass in the damn nursing home after you start shit. You got to take you to the market. Got to come out, sweep up around their porch after you let your little raggedy grandkids hang over there. You understand? So it's really the people in the middle. So you got the kids stealing. You got the grandparents, they don't want to be old no more, so they trying to stay cool with the grandkids. So they just ratchet as all hell. They like, it's okay, baby. You just call and hang up. I'll know to put the house up. It's all right, grandbaby. You want a new phone? You want a new Gucci belt? Just tell me your mother's business. Your mama got a boyfriend? Come here, let me fix you a plate. I need to see what's going on in your house so I can fuck it up. Because how dare she raise a better child than me? Is the house clean? Ain't brought a broom over. Did y'all eat? Ain't sent the plate. So you just be careful, because I'm trying to tell you, between these conspiring grandparents who just don't want to let go of that last bit of youth and already know they done screwed you over and they on their way to the nursing home, and their last defense is to go through your children. It's funny because guess what? You ain't gonna get away from this age bracket, because guess who's gonna be wiping your ass in the nursing home? Yup, your daughter and son, them friends. So please stop thinking that karma will not reach you where you're at. God got a better network than I do. I'm trying to tell you, I've seen karma do some wild things to people, and I be like, oh, that's how it goes. Let me go over it. I be like, dang. Ugh. So yeah, so just be mindful of the karma. And then we got these little people, and because they tell themselves, all right, we smarter, we seen what happened with mom, we seen what happened with dad, we going to take a little game from grandpa, grandma, and we going to do it up. We going to skip over this one generation. But the one thing y'all didn't get, and the one thing that grandma and grandpa didn't pass down, was that your mama and your daddy ain't no sucker. They survived them for a reason. Like, your mama and your daddy survived your grandma, your grandpa. So don't keep thinking that you gaming the shit out of somebody who done pushed you through their portal. A lot of us see little raggedy asses. And we trying to refrain ourselves from really doing the work to you. So a lot of times, y'all getting put out, y'all getting put over your grandparents' house, go live over your aunt house, go live over somebody's house that's gonna put up with you. Because we survived your grandma, we survived your granddad, we survived your uncles and your aunts already, so we already know the bull that's coming. So the fact that you think running to the person that I ran away from is going to put you in a better place in life, down here if you know better. Because if they was the shit that they claimed they was, why the fuck didn't they put it in me? And if I did get better, it wasn't by way through them. They just want credit for it. They'll tell you, well, she ain't going to tell you the things I did for her, but I let her lay you on that couch. She ain't going to tell you the things that I did for her, but I remember I bought some chips when we was out that time. Never mind you, she rode me to the hospital. She took me to my appointments. Yeah. Never mind you that. See, they a lot of times they do not tell the part that you played, especially when it is positive. People usually try to timestamp negative events because they save that for leverage. They say that is emotional currency. They'll always tell you a bad story about somebody before they tell you a good story because the good story would make them seem like a good person. And some people are real like that. They'll tell you the good side of a person because they will lose nothing from being authentic. But you got to be careful with the person that always has a negative thought or a negative picture of somebody, because why are you painting it that way, and why is the paintbrush out, and why are we talking about this person? If this person was so bad, why is this a subject? Unless it has something to do with a fact, unless it has something to do with pending danger or saving someone, I'm trying to figure out what is that conversation supposed to be. Why is it there? So yeah, just pay attention to the dynamics. But I'm seeing this more with the elders and the youngest, and us in the middle. We done navigated so much crap so many times in this time loop. We're not about to just keep navigating. You go sit down, you go sit down, nursing home for you, streets with you. I don't care. At some point, you have to say, I can't let people abuse me because they've put me as the responsible one. I'm supposed to be a martyr at the expense of everyone else being able to do what they need to do. What's going on? So let's get in with this. I was doing Psalms 39, and then I got a song, and I'm going to say the lyrics because I don't want to get copyrighted, right? But I'm going to say the lyrics. But I may not get to the tarot today. I'm not going to lie because I have messages from the book, right? I started reading the book, and the book got real, and it's still consistent with everything I've been talking about, plus new stuff. So let's get into it. Psalms 39. Oh, don't forget your allergy medicine. For someone, whoever's not allergic to bees, bee propolis. It also has a little bit of protein in it. Bee propolis. That will build up the pollen in your system, and it'll actually I can't find the word. It just lit. It will. It's a C word, whatever. But yeah, it'll push. It'll push back on the allergies because you'll also have it built up in your system, so you'll be able to tolerate better. So, natural things that are not pills or supplements. Green tea bags, like tea. Like I used to take it and put it in a cold bottle of water, let it steep all day, or let it steep for or put like a couple of them, let it steep, and just drink the green tea, and that helps. You just got to keep doing it consistently. And bee propolis, and I'm thinking of certain fruits that you can do that would also do that, especially like blueberries, berries. Berries are the antioxidants. Antioxidants. Why are you so invested in what I have going on? Do you not have your own things to take care of? Thank you. Have a nice day. Anyway, I said, I will take heed to my ways, that I sin not with my tongue. I will keep my mouth with bridle. Oh, yeah. I will keep my mouth with a bridle while the wicked is before me. I was dumb with silence. I held my peace even from good, and my sorrow was stared. My heart was hot within me while I was musing, the fire burned. Then spake I with my tongue. Lord, make me to know mine end and the measure of my days, what it is, that I may know how frail I am. Behold, thou hast made my days as an handbreadth, and mine age as nothing before thee. Verily, every man at his best state is altogether vanity. Selah. Surely every man walketh in a vain show. Surely they are disquieted in vain. He heapeth up riches and knoweth not who shall gather them. And now, Lord, what wait I for? My hope is in thee. Deliver me from all my transgressions. Make me not the reproach of the foolish. I was dumb, I opened not my mouth, because thou didst it. Remove thy stroke away from me. I am consumed by the blow of thine hand. When thou with rebukes doest correct man for iniquity, thou makest his beauty to consume away like a moth. Surely every man is vanity. Selah. Hear my prayer, O Lord, and give ear unto my cry. Hold not thy peace at my tears, for I am a stranger with thee, and a sojourner as all my fathers were. O spare me, that I may recover strength before I go hence and be no more. Selah, so be it, and so let it be. Ah, boy. So, as it says, a lot of times we are ignorant, and sometimes because we don't know what is going on, and we were not versed, and we're not counseled and guided to know the best of what's, because a lot of us just got right or wrong. This is a child's place. I'm big, you're small. This is not for you to understand. These sort of things were not explained. They were just pushed off. You were kind of put away. You're not told anything, yet you're exposed to this environment, but you're not told anything. You understand? You're put in a situation where you have choices, but you don't know the choices that you have. You don't know how to speak them. You don't know how to word them, because some adult felt as though, or probably not, because some adults, because if they don't get taught that, they don't have the automatic sense to teach that. So I'm not going to say that. Some adults didn't know. Some adults weren't taught themselves. They came from a backwards place, so they are going to send you to a much more backwards place. So that, and a lot of them aren't willing to admit that. They want to forget the fact that they have done a lot of bad work in the guise of being good. There are some people that will come to you with a straight face and say, I did the best that I can. I love them. I did this. I did that. I kept them safe. I did this. I did that. But if they were to go into their honest heart, if they were to go into the purest place of their heart, they would know. Happy New Moon to you. They would know that there was so much more that could have been done. There's things that they could apologize for. There's things that they could redo. There's things that they could, stop doing altogether. But if they were to change, that would mean that something was wrong. And there are a lot of people in this world that are that stubborn. They're that stubborn. They are not willing to change, and they are not willing to see being seen as wrong. See, when we say DL, a lot of times we're mentioning things about sexuality, but let's just change this. It's not just about that. It's about you wanting to keep on the down low that you're not the person that you say you are. You're not the person that you present as. So I guess this is why this scam and fraud culture has come out more and more over the years, is because we have a lot more people willing to fake it than they've ever made it. And that's dangerous when too many adults are out here playing pretend. You're playing pretend with kids. You're playing pretend with bills. You're playing pretend when you have college intuition, you have medical bills to pay for, you have rent to pay for, you have food to get. You are playing pretend. As an adult, that is very dangerous for the children to see you play pretend when you got some real shit going on. It is dangerous for you not to be addressing things as they are in reality, because guess what? That little pretend waxy food that we used to play with in elementary, this is what they serving in the markets now, and it looks a lot realer. So we need to stop playing and really get real with this thing. I think Dick Gregory said it. He said, we gotta put the silly down at some point. It's in the Bible. Of course, we know you guys don't read it. And the ones that do, you only read it as far as you can get somebody to give or get you something or get you somewhere. And then you close the book and say, let the music start. Because you need people all up in arms and in their motion and waving, because that's how you shake them coffers. That's how you get them coffers loose. I see it. I'm there. I used to be in the choirs. I used to be outside. I used to be outside on the block on the steps, running around, with the kids. I used to be outside with you guys. I used to be right there, but I didn't understand you guys because something, whatever signal that was, would make me sit to the side and look. Yeah, I played sometimes, but because I was a child. But then as I grew up, I realized that I needed to sit a little longer and look a little longer and listen much more. It wasn't that I was navigated or told anything, because I'm one of those kids that got told, this is an adult place. Go stay in a child's place, stay in a child's place. But then when I found myself as not a child, I was still being given the same damn advice. So that meant this person never meant for me to grow up. They wanted to benefit off of my lack of knowledge, not knowing that I peeped that from a very young age. And this is why I have a penchant for grabbing books and consuming them. I spent, I don't know, like, I think from the age of 12 to maybe 15, home reading a lot of books. I read Donald Goings. I read a lot of stuff. Maybe I read some things that I should not have read. But honestly, those things were very pivotal to me being alive today. And I'm so grateful for all those. Sister Soldier, um, John Grisham. There was another lady. Oh my God, she had two different pen names. I can't call her name right now, but I got her books tucked around this house somewhere. Nora Roberts. I used to read all her different ones and all her different pen names. There were certain, I would pick up anything and just start reading, because reading took me not only a place, it made me paint pictures, and it also gave me scenarios that I would have never been subjected to if I just stayed where I was. So I had to learn. I was learning while other people were just doing things. I was always learning. And that's why I'm so happy that I had a thing to grab this book. And I love John Grisham. Shout out to him. Okay. So yeah. So with that and communication and asking questions and people having information, yet doing things with the information for their benefit. Remember, I said I asked these people what happened to the last person that lived here, and they gave me some old crazy weird, is as though they were trying to instill mystery in the thing. And here's the thing about it. If a person looks at you and how they've been treated, and then they look at the neighborhood and how things are going, I can damn sure believe I know exactly what happened to the last lady that lived there. Weird. Okay, so, but I ain't her. Everybody different. Definitely not her. Just to let you know. All right, so let's do the song lyrics first, because I got a lot out of this. All right, Mind Your Funky Business. It's a soca artist, and he's from Trinidad, right? Shout out to Trinidad, TNT, sweet, sweet TNT. Oh, how I love up my country. All right, so I'm a mixer. I have the bloodlines running through me. I'm a relic. Definitely not ancient, but definitely a relic. So I think I've lived a few lifestyles, lifelines, lifetimes. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. So mind your funky business. Mind your funky business. Leave me alone. When you see me, leave me alone. I don't care what people want to say. They will talk you any time of day. You do good, them talking you. You do bad, them talking you. They never have nothing good to say, but they ask the most questions. Where you from? Where you going? Where your mother? When last you been home? Mind your funky business. Mind your funky business. Just leave me alone. When you see me, leave me alone. Listen, when you see me liming, don't ask me nothing. Interrogation start. You want to know my whole life story. How you look good so? Long time in a see you. What you have for dinner? Chicken back. I hear your sister breed. Fear marry man. How you know that? The congressman. Mind your funky business. Mind your funky business. So not only is a bunch of people talking about you, is a bunch of people every time they see you, they run their mouth because they want to know your business, but they're not in your business. So some people who claim they know you, or some people who might have known you before, they think they know what you're up to now because they knew you at that time. And they really didn't know you at that time. Right? So bring it back to present. Somebody asks, when they see you, they ask people who they think know you, where you from. Sometimes they ask where you going, and they ask about your business. And somebody tries to volunteer their information, even though they did wrong. So there's a lot of people who are presently trying to volunteer information about us, collective. I'm going to say us because I ain't going to say it's not me too. There's a lot of people trying to talk your life and don't know your life. They're not in your life. Especially for the ones that be in my chat. I'd be like, what? Anyway, so it's a bunch of strangers trying to act like they know you and they don't know you. It's a bunch of people regurgitating information that they got from someone else who want to know you and don't know you. And there's a bunch of people regurgitating information that they got from somebody who knows you, don't like you, and wants to ruin your reputation. Now, there are two categories of the people who know you and don't like you. The people who couldn't benefit off of you, and the people who look like shit in comparison to you. They don't want to tell the truth about why you guys aren't friends. They don't want to tell the truth about why you don't help them. They don't want to tell the truth about why they can't help you. For instance, one of those times I had something going on, and I remember I was like helping this whole entire family. Me by myself with kids was helping this whole entire family, right? And I ended up in the hospital because it was a lot of stress. They didn't know that they were stressing me out. Like, you live in a whole bare minimum life with a whole bunch of people calling you and you calling me. Now, because I could do it, I just used to do it because I was bored any damn way. And I really didn't have nobody else I wanted to like invest in because I only had me and the kids. However, I should not have been over there because I did not know how black holish this whole family was. Nothing's ever good for this family. And they never change. They're always chaotic. They're always looking for someone else to contribute to their family. There is no shame in them calling someone and asking them for a favor. Like, this looks like somebody laying up in the bed with somebody all day and will call somebody else about getting their family business done. Or somebody who goes back and forth across town for the bare minimum just to still look crazy. So we have some people who have lived their lives backwards all their lives, and they can't necessarily come around you because they've talked a lot of stuff about you when the friendship ended, or when they ended the friendship via trying to play gangster. It happens. It happens. So say you find yourself, you're always the giver, and you find yourself in a time of need. Because you're always the giver, you don't think anything of it that you've helped these people out of pretty much the gutter. And you say, hey, I'm going to need a favor from you. And the last thing you're thinking is these people are going to say, no. Even though they said much worse. The last thing you're thinking is they're going to attack you because you've helped them pretty much survive. Right? Some of them wouldn't have had style. Some of them wouldn't have washed their ass. Some of them wouldn't have knew how to do hair. Some of them wouldn't have got a lot of shit done had it not been from you. A couple of them wouldn't have graduated had it not been for your encouragement. However, the moment you fell on hard times, that's when they let it rip. They let it rip. They talked about you like a dog. They told you how much you thought you was all that. However, they still always had their money out, their hand out for your money. They still always had their thumb out for a ride. They still always needed you to co-sign for something, right? And they always called for your old clothing. I'm pretty sure if I put a bag out now, that old clothing be gone in no time. And even if one person from here got some, they'd find their way to that clothing. And they'd have the nerve to say, you know what? This look like so-and-so stuff. But they can't call you and say nothing about it because they know how bad they tried to make it seem when you guys disconnected. There are people that are trying to make it seem really bad when you guys disconnected, and they're trying to make it your fault. But what they can't really explain is, how is it you always got better and always did for them and they never did for you? Some people are not talking to them and saying anything about the fact that they know that they some bullshit ass liars. It's some people who are just saving their little feelings and not saying anything, but they looking at them wild. Like, you used to be all up in this girl passenger seat. You used to be all up on this girl couch. You used to beg this girl to come pick you up. You used to wait for this person to do so and so. You used to want this girl to cook. You used to have parties with nothing and she used to finish them. Yet, you can talk stuff now. Pull out the small violin. So you see, there are some people who are now looking at the people who are talking about you, and they don't know that they're looking at a dead end. They don't know that that person is not about to budge. They don't know that the minute they stop talking, that person is going to go talk about them. Do you see how phony that person is? They used to be with them every day. Look at them. Look at them. I don't fuck with them like that neither. Yeah. The same way that you put that energy out there, there are people gathering. There are people gathering behind the curtains. So I'm hoping you're ready for your turn, because that's how the wheel works. The wheel usually works that way. So once that person who you did real dirty, who treated you like, some people should have like treated you like a dog, but that person treated you better than you'd ever been treated before. And because that one person treated you like that, you felt like everybody else was an option. But guess what? The buck stopped. And now you got the lean on everybody who you thought was the best. Remember everybody who you was partying with? When you talked about that person, remember? Oh boy, do you remember? They remember you. So now that you can't party, now that you can't pull up, now that you can't get nobody to give you a 2 and a few till next week, who are you calling? You can't call that person who you actually destroyed because you felt as though that one time that they happened to need you, you survived. You thought that was it. That was it. That was your kicker. You finally got there. But that person only happened to need you is because they had exhausted themselves being there for you. That was your time to pay it forward. That was your test. That was God's test to you. You know, you have to be careful how you treat people. God will test you through anything. A kid, a bum, a homeless person, some of your friends, your sister, your brother, your mother, anybody. God will test you through anybody. And a lot of times, y'all be so quick to try to you see a person as a come up. Y'all see a person as a lick, or y'all see a person as a fool. especially if you got a chance to get to know them for a while. You're like, oh, this person's always nice. This person will always send me a 10. If they see me hungry, they ain't gonna do me like that. I had to let my goddaughter know, nah. One, you only get godparents as a option in case your parents pass or can't take care of things. You guys started planning in your godparents' pockets while your parents ain't did shit. What is that? Like, I had to give all you raggedy people back because I was very, very helpful at a point in time. And then I realized everybody that was I was helpful to wasn't helping me and they weren't getting any better. So then I felt like I was enabling them because why in the hell should I get you sick? I don't smoke cigarettes. Why am I buying alcohol when I'm not an alcoholic? Why am I burning gas, bitch, when you don't have a car? So, like, that's when I just left y'all to y'all stuff. And now you see how that turned out. And even for the ones who had money, who thought that they were doing things for me. Oh, baby, I seen you look down your nose at way too many people. And that was your test too, baby. We seen you. You got all up in your arms. Look, it say, I hear your sister breed, fear married man. How you know that? Congressman. So hear this. It's in the book too, because I'm going over there. Hear this. So we're talking about some heavy hitters. There are some people that are in your family and your friend group, and you didn't really know what they did. A lot of people didn't know what I did while I was in the friend group too. They didn't know I was actually a health worker as I was in the friend group. The same way a lot of people don't know everybody's job in the health group. So I'm going to say that there are people that was in the groups that I was in. And even if I was a health worker, people would be like, why are you hanging with them? You a health worker. Well, there were a lot more important people hanging in that same place who really was doing way worse than what I was doing. And they was really not supposed to be. So that looks like the underbelly of some stuff. Some people, they get out of the office, they clock out, they take off their suit and their tie, they go put on some hooping shorts and a real bad t-shirt, and they dress to go in the hood. And then you don't know that they were a doctor, a surgeon. You don't know that they do construction. You don't know that they're a plumber. You don't know that they are a businessman. You don't know that they are a lawyer or paralegal. You don't know because they've dressed down after work. Right? So a lot of you guys have messed up tests in plain clothes. Just because you see a person in plain clothes does not mean that this person lives a plain life. A lot of people did not know that I was in psych. A lot of people didn't know that I was in the nursing field. A lot of people didn't know a lot of the things that I did. One, because I don't brag. Two, because I don't need people to be in my business. But some of the people that thought they knew your business tried to put it out there and they didn't know what the hell they was talking about. And it's crazy because had they really paid attention, they would have just shut up because they were digging a hole for themselves. Who knew that you may have to come back around to the same bridge that you burned? And it's really bad if the person burnt the bridge without you knowing and you thought you were going to come back. You thought you were going to talk about this person, at least in their face, you were going to present as though you're innocent and you don't know anything about it. You thought you were just going to come back and approach, hey, I don't know what they're talking about. It wasn't me. I didn't do it. You thought you were safe because you distanced yourself, right? Nope. Because a person that's thoroughly through with people, they don't want any crisscrossing intersections. They don't want your friends, your mammy and that. They don't care about your cousins. We don't want to pat on your kids. I'm not giving your kid $1 just because I saw them on the street. I'm so sorry. I'm not. You told people I was broke. Why in the fuck would I give your kid $1? Carry on. Like, you gotta be, you gotta be careful of how you treat people and how you dismount out of a person's life. And sometimes, even when you're a good person, you got to be careful with dismounting out of a person's life. Just know what they're capable of, because some people will go on a smear campaign because they weren't able to break you during their time in connection with you. They weren't able to get you to be like them, which a lot of people do. And it can't get you to apologize, and they can't get you to take yourself out, because yeah, a lot of people would rather you just disappear or hear about you passing away rather than explain how bad they treated you. A lot of people don't want to explain that maybe they were a pervert in your life. Some people don't want to explain that maybe they drugged you. Some people don't want to explain that maybe they slept with your ex-husband and sat in your face still. Some people don't want to explain that, yeah, they ate your ex-boyfriend's ass, and that's probably why you don't feel like you're a competition anymore, because you don't do that. So, you won. You win, sis. I can't compete with that. And I won't compare. Anyway, so yeah, some people won't, right. Some people don't want to admit that, right? So, they rather you just disappear so they don't have to explain it. But then you show up, and then people are like, so why you don't hang with her? And then they make up some bullshit lie. Well, I don't hang with her because she thought she was all that. That's usually not a good excuse, because how can you tell what a person thinks? Like, and if she thought she was all that, I'm gonna need a supporting question, because why the fuck would she hang with you in the first place if she thought she was all that? Mm-hmm. So that's that one debunk. And then you get the other people that be like, oh, well, I thought she was slow. But then people realize, well, that person ain't never had a job, but that person always had a job. So how the fuck was they slow? Every time I seen them, they were dropping you off. You weren't dropping them off. And every time you had something going on, you went and got that person. So I don't know who was slow. That type of shit. Or you get a person that say, oh, they was broke. They was bringing me down. But they never gave that person nothing. And every time that person was hanging out with them, they paid their way. And I love it when a person say, yeah, they was broke and I had to take care of them and this, and that, and this, and that, and then got no receipts. And the person can never say it in front of that person's face. Never. They can never. Like, I got a whole 2-paragraph apology from a cousin who knows he lied on me. Like, you're a whole professional. The type of lie that came out of your mouth should have never came out of your mouth. So then we get into the expensive lies and the expensive stuff. See, when you get older, the shit costs. Tell your kids right now. Talk to your kids now. See, that gossip shit is cheap. It's cheap game when you're young. But as you get older, that shit costs. Might cost you a caregiver. Might cost you a wife. Might cost you a husband. Might cost you a child. Might cost you a house. Might cost you a car. It might cost your whole life savings. It might even cost your burial site, depending on the person who pettily sues you. They might just sue you for everything monetary. You understand? So talk ain't that damn cheap as you get older. So be mindful. This is why we have courts. This is why we have judges. This is why we have politicians. This is why we have this great America, because of talk. Because of talk and speech and word. And literature and rules and policies, which are all written and you have to read. So reading is definitely fundamental. Understanding is, well, comprehension, woo, that's priceless. A lot of you can talk, a lot of you can read, but a lot of y'all can't comprehend worth a damn. Yep. Sad to say it, but it's true. So let's get on with the brethren. John Grisham, the brethren, right? It starts off a little crazy. So I'm getting Pisces energy when it starts off a little crazy because it starts talking about a mid-Victorian wig, okay? Um, for the weekly docket, the court jester, right? And it's talking about maroon pajamas and lavender terry cloth shoes, right, with no socks. So he's a cross dresser in jail. I'm going to take it as a South Node Pisces because what the hell? All right. And the fact that his wig was a old English magistrate's wig from centuries earlier, I'm going to definitely say this is a water sign, right? Because he has a penchant for theatrics. So this is water signs, right? So this is Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. And it's crazy because they have a little makeshift court. Yep, it's a makeshift court in prison where these three older judges, that's Aries, no, 1, 2, 3, Aquarius, Pisces, Aries. Yep, that's Aries. So it's three judges. I told you about the judges, right? It's three judges in this court that are magistrates. They're supposed to be judging over, and they're in jail. They're in jail now. So this is South Node, Pisces, and Aries. They in jail. The wig makes me feel as though that one is the Pisces, though, because of the wig. It's a white wig that has powder in it and has the layers of, it's like old English. It's definitely an old English, right? It's parted in the middle with rows of layers, tight coils rolling off into three directions. Almost white. It was bright gray, almost white. So he's supposed to be extinguished, right? I can't make this up. So they're having court in jail. The inferior federal court of North Florida is in session. So I told you there are several states. Florida is involved in this. Florida, South Carolina, I see 511 in front of me. Florida, South Carolina. So there's a Taurus, there's a Hierophant group. A Hierophant group is institutions and things of that nature. So there's definitely a Taurus involved. And there's definitely big wigs in here. Big wigs, because I got wigs in here. Big wigs, but big wigs, though. Big wigs usually mean people that are top of things. I already got congressmen in there. So it has to do with legislation. It has to do with a lot of leaders. But this is the inferior federal court of North Florida. Why I say North Carolina? Okay, that's in there. So I got California in here. I got New York, North Carolina, Florida. I got Chief of Justice. Okay, so, and I've got Mississippi in here. So Mississippi is in here as well. And they're all having makeshift court cases in jail. Somebody is getting in trouble for, this is in jail. These are three judges who got locked up. They all have their own charges, yet they are in jail judging other people. So there are three judges, right? Judges wear robes. This judge wears wigs. So it could be trusted neighborhood person, your favorite mechanic. It could be your store clerk, the old lady on the block that everybody trusts, or the old man on the block. Take it as it resonates. Somebody who's supposed to be the pillar of the community, but not. They just as involved in the shit as everybody else. But excuse me, we have criminals judging criminals. Basically, this is what it is. There are criminals judging criminals. There's a Pisces, there's an Aries, there's a Taurus. There's also a Gemini. Because why is this two-faced like this? I suggest you read this book. It's really a good book. Okay, so in this court, they're allowed to lie. They're expected to lie. But the thing about it is these three judges who are now criminals, who are now respected criminals, if that even is a thing, it is a thing. It's America. Anyway, it's the world. Okay, yeah. So they're expected to lie, but because these judges are akin to these things, they actually have a 90% approval rate because they know about the lies. They know about the tells. They look at the eyes, they look at the hands, they look at the body posture, they look at certain things. And also, they are in a housing unit with the criminals that they are seeing on the docket. So they see the things, right? Whatever happens, they end up doing white collar crime while in prison. So somebody's pulling the strings while in prison. They have a few good connects. There are some people that are locked up that come from higher up, so they know a lot of the rules. That's why I'm starting to feel like prison is the cheapest university ever. There is so much information in the prison walls that are in the college. And just by way of the housing, that's how much the tuition is. I don't know why I wanted to say intuition. It's my intuition. Intuitively, that's why the shit is connecting. And I'm pointing to me. So it's a connection to jail. Okay. So it's something about jail, right? White collar crime from jail, and the criminals judging other criminals. So this is in a hierarchy. So 1111, very intuitive. We going up. Okay. Wednesday, April Fools, not a fool. Fool, play the role of the fool who thinks he's fooling you into being a fool or a tool. That's the way it went. Okay, so infirmary, gallstones, Schnechter. What is it? Asshole. Oop, sorry. That's what you call, it's a sphincter. That's what you call that little thing, that little space back there. That's what you call it. It's a sphincter. The place where you get hemorrhoids at, right? It's a sphincter. I don't know why this came out because I was just reading one of the characters' name is Schneider. But I just looked and it said sphincter. So someone's, I don't know if they're doing business through the sphincter or what the hell I just pulled up sphincter for. But this is the white collar case that they were doing. Someone wanted to do inside trading, and I guess this is where I'm going to, because this is I gotta sit with this message a little longer because this is good. If I go through it, I think this is good. So there's somebody trying to orchestrate a crime, a big white collar crime, right? Someone's in prison. It's people, it's players all over the place, like it's players all over the place in this book. The issue is this one guy, he's really good. He's got knowledge. He's got knowledge. So someone has a lot of knowledge and they have knowledge of a lot of different things, right? And he stays to himself. He's different, right? And I don't know if this got something to do with, I don't know. It resonates. Take what resonates. Someone else is also that way. I don't know whether they're in jail or they're not, or they might just be in a mental prison, right? Doesn't have to be physical jail. It could just be a mental prison. Someone watches this and they're trying to figure out what this person knows in order to spend money. Now, the thing is, there was one prisoner that watched this one prisoner gain all of this inside knowledge because he's an inside trader. He knows how to watch the charts, the flow charts, things of that nature. The other inmate, he sees this. He gets together with another set of inmates that he sits with on a financial council or a financial little group that they started inside the prison where they are. It might not be a prison where the person is, but if you go into certain neighborhoods, it does feel like a prison. It feels like you're kind of locked in once you get in there. Either way, this is what's going on. Might not be in a prison, might just be a mental prison. This person wants to get in good with the person who has the information. They go to their people and they've all strategized a plan to get this person to help them get access to some money. The guy goes to the guy and they talk and they come up with a plan. He asks the guy, can he get him in? And he says, I don't really know about it, but I'll ask some people that I know on the outside. I don't know whether it's on the outside of the neighborhood or on the outside of the prison. He makes his phone calls or whatever over the course of 3 days. They both come back in politic. The guy talks. The guy says, yeah, I'm going to try. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. The guy says, okay, well, me and my friends have gotten together $1,000. We've gotten together $1,000 for where they are, be it either in a mental prison or physical prison. $1,000 is a lot to these guys to get together. So they all got the $1,000 together and they gave it to the guy to do the transaction. The guy takes the money and tells him he sees what he could do. Remember, he never promised them anything. He said he sees what you do. But if you're into stocks, if you're into anything like money markets and things of that nature, it is a very volatile way to go about money, right? And you have to be able to pay attention and wait for ebb and flow. You also have to see when the thing's going to jump. When the numbers jump, you see your return and then you hurry up and you take it out. Usually you wait, you see the numbers jump, you get your you take off your profit, you skim off your profit, you move that to a wallet and you see if you want to leave that stock there. If you don't want to leave your stock there, you buy out, you sell, you wait for the numbers to change, you put it back in, you take the profit and the money and the investment, you put it back in, you wait for the numbers to jump again, or you know what I'm saying? It depends on how you do it, right? And I'm giving you a little bit of clues on how to do it yourself. So this is what's happening. However, the money goes. Whatever happens, I don't know if he knew, I don't know if they were keeping an eye on it. He says the money's gone, right? So he takes it to the court, the makeshift court. Now, 2 criminals come up with a scheme. The scheme don't go through. The other man is out. The group is out $1,000. The other man said, I told you it wasn't for sure. However, they go to court. The court is held by these criminals. So there is, I guess, a council or local or a group of elders or a group of people who they feel as though can pass judgment on this situation. So they take it to the crime judges, the judges that used to, the ex-con judges. It's funny, right? Isn't it? And they take it to them to see over the case. Now, they all know the volatile ways of the market because they're ex-judges. They was on the outside. They know this stuff. They also know these 2 people from being housed with them, that one is really good at business and the other one was just trying to chime in by way of his crew. Now, these judges take all that stuff into consideration when they're taking their time in. Right now, I'm still reading through that scenario because right now they discontinued the case until some more evidence can be substantiated. Because the thing of the matter is, they claiming that he knew that money, he wasn't going to get him that money back. They claiming that he just took him off for that money. And not only are they claiming that he took him off for that money, they also claiming that he took the money for himself and did the deal himself. Now, here's what happened before they set it aside until they can bring it back again. And I'll stop from there. Prior to the case, as soon as they knew they were going to come at the guy, they started going around the whole prison telling people that he took a deal, that he bought the stock himself and invested himself. And in a bad environment where things are bad, people accept bad news more quickly than they would accept the truth or good news. So being in prison or having the prison mentality, when they decided to spread the rumor of this man possibly robbing them for money, being as though they're in prison, they decided to use that environment to their advantage. Being as though in prison, it was more believable that this man was untrustworthy and that he would rob them. But here's my take on it before I go to the tarot cards, because I'm going to get it for a little bit because I only went into the water signs. Here's the thing. That's a bad environment. That's the jail. The thing about it is, why would one criminal risk five criminals coming at them if he wasn't going to tell the truth? And this is the question you need to ask yourself. Why would one person with the truth go at or take their chances going after five people that could be lying? It's because the truth is much stronger than a lie. Whatever happens, the truth won't change. And this is what people don't understand. You could do a lot of lying. You could do a lot of moving things around. You can do a lot of hiding. You can do all that. But eventually, the truth gonna shake loose. And then what? After you've invested in so much, there will be another truth. And you'll be held responsible for it. Yep. So, shout out to the truth. And this book, oh my gosh. And I had just started it. I'm not too far into it, but I'm going to finish reading it over the next few days because I'm liking it. It's a bit wild. It's wild too. It's wild. And yeah, it's phenomenal. It's wild. Also, I'm still side by side writing my own thing. I have to reconstruct IG2. I got to reconstruct it. But my other book is like, yeah. So yeah, that part. So we dealt with the water signs. What we know about the water signs is they're running through the government rampant. And it doesn't have to be just the water signs, but it's definitely a lot of water energy running through the government. A lot of water energy, a lot of fire energy, a lot of air energy. Not a lot of earth energy running through a lot of places because earth could be grounded, but some of these people are stubborn and they're fixated, and the ones that are obsessed do have earthy elements in their chart. That's because they will not stop. They will stay. They will try to be resilient in a situation where they might not need to concede. But hey, you got to know when to hold up, know when to fall down, know when to walk away. Know when to run. You got to count your blessings. I love that guy. The Emperor, I've been pulling my cards backwards since yesterday. The Emperor 4774 3473. That is 14. That's temperance. Somebody needs to mind their manners, lady. All right. So somebody needs to keep it cool, keep it calm. Things are happening for you and me and us. Keep it calm. These things too shall pass. Right now, you're going to see people go through karma, and it's going to look like you're going through karma with them, but that's okay. That's the remnants of you just cleaning the people out of your energy. A lot of people wanted you to go through all their karma. They didn't want to go through anything. They wanted you to pay their bills. They wanted you to let them in, let them use your toilet, let them use your toilet paper. They wanted to turn your doorknob. They wanted to knock on your door. They wanted to sit on your porch. They wanted to sit on your steps. And it's a hell no. Okay. Some people wanted a ride. Some people wanted to go to the market with you. They wanted to go to the mall. They wanted to ask you a question. And guess what? It's over. Okay. It's over. And they starting to realize it. They don't want to say it, but it's over. Okay. The friendship is over. The camaraderie is over. Well, the illusion of a friendship is over. The camaraderie is over. The access is been denied because you're starting to realize that high ain't worth it. That wave ain't worth it, baby. Okay. That extra few seconds that you might spend with that person might start asking you a bunch of questions. I really hate when a person asks me, "Did you file your taxes yet?" Like, are you cool? Mind your fucking business. I love it when people ask me, "Do I have a job on here?" And I just get to look at them like, "You're a strange one, aren't you?" I love it when people ask me like intrusive questions and have no input and no real understanding of my life. Like, no, I don't like that. And you're not going to ask me a bunch of questions and I don't know who you are. That's crazy. So we have the Emperor, which is the fire sign, and then we have the Aquarius, and then we have the feminine side who came out to say hi. Hello, baby. And that's the Empress. So the Empress is definitely here. How are you? How are you, my divine feminine? And they're still being sneaky. And even if it's not the Empress, it can be an Emperor. And the Emperor is on the other side. So we're out here, baby. So divine masculine and divine feminine are starting to really see the sneaky people around them. They're starting to realize, and I see 1313, which is, we've already done 2 Fridays the 13th. Beautiful, beautiful energy. So there's definitely a lot of depth and transformation for the divine feminine and the divine masculine at this time. They've listened to me very good. Very good. Very well. I hope you've taken notes. Now you're starting to see that there are things that you have been able to overlook because you have wanted to trust, you have wanted to love, you have wanted to believe. You are not wrong. You're not a bad person for loving. You're not a bad person for wanting to believe. You are not a bad person for wanting to support. But what I want you to do right now is take all that good stuff, pack it up, and keep it to yourself because you've undoubtedly shared with someone who was selfish and who actually marked you as a lick the minute they saw that you wanted to be nice. Someone saw that you wanted to be kind and they saw that as their window of opportunity. Okay. Somebody did not know that the reason why you became nice and maybe a little kind is because you used to slap bitches back in the day. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. Because you didn't want to go to jail. Okay. You saw what that bad thing could do for you. So a lot of people don't understand that the person that they met in you was the person that God wanted you to try to be. No one knew that that was the trial. No one knew that they were tested too to see if you could actually be that nice before God to say, "Hey, I ain't gonna tell you to do this, but so many times, but go on and slap her ass." Because I'm trying to tell you, because sometimes people will try to lock you into being the good person. You can't be the bad person. You can't tell a person no. Hell no, you can't tell a person kick rocks. People are supposed to be able to come to you and you're supposed to just give out all the time. And some people like that. Some people like being used and they say it as, "Oh, I'm just helping the people." No, baby. No, baby. The people are draining you, especially if they're not giving you back. I hate when a person comes and they give up all their stuff and when they don't have anything, people don't give it to them. I used to be that person, but I used to actually not give enough to the point where I was drained. A lot of people didn't know I'm not giving you my last, but they wanted to. When they thought I was giving them that last, they was smiling. Ooh, she gonna give me her last. I wasn't giving you my damn last. I wasn't giving you my first either. I was giving you what I had. But now that I see you thought you was all that and you entitled to it, I ain't gonna give you shit but this nice looking smile. Hey, Miss Parker. Mm. So now you don't like when somebody give you the bombastic shady eye. You don't like that, do you? But the thing about it is, when you were giving the bombastic shady eye, you was actually being shady. Now that I can give you the bombastic shady eye, it's because your ass was being shady. Now I can just walk away from you. I don't owe you a damn thing. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So definitely for the emperor and the empress who are on both sides of this thief, there's a thief in between trying to steal their union. Someone's trying to kick both y'all back in. You see him? You see the little bastard? Someone trying to kick both y'all back in. You see him? And he's stealing shit. He a whole crackhead. And he might not be a crackhead. He might be addicted to sex. He might be addicted to the streets. He might be addicted to lies. He might be addicted to pills. He might be addicted to drinking. Whoever this thief is, he's trying to steal the divine union. It might even be a woman. So take what resonates. There are people who operate in this energy all the time. And when I say Aquarian in this energy, the water bearer carries emotion. Water is emotion. So remember when I said water signs are a lot of emotion, right? So if you're a water bearer as an Aquarius, you're a mutable sign, which means that you can put your heart on a damn hook and leave that bitch there for however long you need to be if you're an Aquarius. Aquarius can choose to be or not to be a lover. So Aquarius can choose not, yeah. They be on their pimp shit most of the time. So when I'm showing you this Aquarian energy and it's a water bearer, that means it's a person who likes to carry emotions as currency. This person likes to play on people's heartstrings. They might not be an Aquarius, but they might have Aquarius energy. A water bearer picks up people's emotions in a receptacle, in that big old thing, and they carry people's emotions. And they pick where and when and where they're going to pull it out, pour it out. Now, a Cancer is also a water sign, and they have a penchant for theatrics. What do crabs do? They eat barnacles. Where they do it at? From the bottom. I told you somebody's an ass eater. Sorry. Okay. Okay. So we talked about the water bearer carrying the feelings, right? I mentioned the sphincter, didn't I? Anyway, so the water bearer is between the emperor and the empress. It does not mean that it's Aquarius. It means that it's the energy. So you got to be mindful of the water signs. So I talked about the water bearer, which is the Aquarius, right? He's not a water sign. This is a sign that manipulates the water. The water signs are Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio. Pisces being the highly intuitive ones, as above, so below, they are represented by soul. Soul is feet, right? And it's also fish, which means that it's very fluid in its motion, but also what's up is down. So whatever they're usually thinking on their mind is usually carried out in the earth, right? So that's the Pisces energy. Cancer, like I said, we know how crabs do. They are shellfish. They eat from the bottom. They usually feed on barnacles, planktons, and things of that nature. Yet they make a lot of lutein, which means that they can grease the joints. They can grease the cogs. So they're more susceptible to lottery, bribes. They like to coerce a lot. And one thing they do like to do is they like to get on the inside because they have a hard shell on the outside. They like to get on the inside of people. They like to pour you out before they decide on whether or not how they're going to consume you. That's a Cancer. So for a Scorpio, the Scorpios have the stinger. Scorpions are usually found in deserts and near water. Okay. They don't necessarily live in the water, but they are part of the water sign. Don't know. They're considered an anthropod or something like that because they have shells, right? On the first look, if you've never seen a scorpion, you don't see the other half of them, you're like, maybe this is from the crab family, right? But no, they're not. And they have venom and they have that thing. So I don't know why a scorpion is a water sign, but they are. However, they are passionate. I know their traits. They are passionate. They are loyal to a fault. Okay. Thank you. I appreciate that. Crabs of the desert. So they dry as fuck. Okay. So they got emotions. Thank you. I be needing the words because I think in macro, not micro. Okay, so the crabs of the deserts, even though they need very little water, they still make poison. So there is a fluid of them. The fluid that they have in them is toxic. So if you should ever grab the emotions of a Scorpio, mind you, that a Scorpio can be a very loyal lover. It can be a loyal friend, but once you get into the emotions of them, it can be toxic because they don't like to disconnect. Their loyalty actually is like a trauma bond in itself, okay? So the minute you find yourself wanting to separate from the Scorpio, who but where but and they might want to put a little hands on you, whether they're non-violent or not. It just might be an automatic thought. You know what I'm saying? They might just, do you want me to slap him? You understand? Because they need that sting. Okay. So with a Scorpio, and even if you try to, when you break up with a Scorpio, if you break up with a Scorpio, they're going to want you to feel it. They might try to get a revenge body. They might try to like hang out across the street from your house all the time, stalk you a bit, but not stalk you. I ain't worried about you. I just hang around here. Shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So you got to watch out. 1313. We're still having death and transformations. Welcome to the awakening. I love you all. And I'm thanking you for paying attention and opening your eyes to the environment, not just to me, but to the environment, because this is good for the vibration of the world. Because Whitney Houston's I believe the children are the future. Right now, she ready about come out that grave and start stomping on a few folks because what? What? And then somebody had the nerve to jump into my comment section and was like, she was talking about millennials. She was talking about Gen something. Shut up. Ain't nobody was talking to you. And why are you going through my comments trying to find something to respond to? Shut up. Chump. Anyway, children are our future. It doesn't matter what timeline you assign to them. X, Y, Z, boomer, millennials. The children are always supposed to be part of the future. That's why people are still trying to be encouraged to have more of them. So how dare you jump into my daggone comment and then try to box my comment in? You idiot. Does your mother fix you box macaroni and cheese? Because she's surely entrapped your mind in some kind of yellow lake number 3, yellow lake number 4, red, blue dye, whatever. Something's got your ass. Got a hold of your ass. Stop trying to get a hold of me. Anyway, like I said, with the thief and the emperor and the empress, we got them. Like I said, this is 14, which is temperance, which is 5, which means things have to change. The way of life has to change. And we've got to defeat the thieves in our lives, the water bearers in our lives, the people who would take our emotions and go back and forth and try to tug on our strings in order to bring about some kind of money from them. I hate when people put things that don't make no sense in my comment, because baby, is you special? Is you missing some medication? It's somebody who bipolar who does follow me, and I hope you take your medicine, and I need you to like do what you need to do in case you don't have a social worker, or find you a social worker or somebody to talk to, because talking to me is not going to help you, because eventually I'm going to say something that's going to hit you in the wrong way. And I'm trying to tell you, baby, go find somebody else to play with. Okay? Thank you. Anyway, I'm trying to say this because if it ever come out on the news that somebody said, I pushed them to the brink, I didn't push you to the brink because nobody told you come over here. Anyway, and go take your medicine, okay, boo-boo? Take your medicine. Not all of it. Take it as prescribed, because you won't put that shit on me either, because y'all like to nitpick. Anyway, like I said, and that, you know what? It's you I'm talking about right now. The right now. It's you I'm talking about right now. It's you I'm talking about right now. You're trying to manipulate emotions when I don't care about you. So go somewhere where somebody care. And yes, I know that's not the title of the song. It's the lyrics. It's the lyrics. She said them. I love it. Anyway, like I said, this is what a person was doing. You know what I'm saying? This is what a person was doing. And this is what this person is doing. So you got to watch out for all the people who act like this. They act as though they're coming in with good intentions. However, they come to disrupt things. They come to disable and make it about them and bring the attention to them and that they could find their Google button and all that. I'm so glad for you, my dear. Get the hell on. So this person likes to try to pull on emotions and sneak around and stuff. So they sneak around your platform, your home, your work, your job, your car, anywhere that they might see you might be. They just try to inject themselves into it because they need to act as though they're connected to you or they know your business or that they can just influence you in any kind of way or mess up your money, because a lot of people would just like to mess up your money if they can't help you spend it. A lot of people would love to mess up your money if they can't help you spend it or if you ain't spending it with them. All right. So that was that for Aries and Aquarius. And that was not just I did all the water signs. Aries. So yes, the Empress and the Emperor. Respect, leadership, stability, structure, rules and power, authority, father figure, protection, control, discipline, focus, and practicality. This man is returning back to himself because there are men that knew this about themselves a long time ago, and they know this about themselves right now. However, they are not able to enact it. Want to know why? Because they've come across a couple of bad empresses. They came across a couple of bad women. They came across a couple of bad kids. They came across a couple of bad bosses. And, excuse me, in that moment, things got a little shaky, but things are not over. It's not too late for you. You can actually just stop dealing with all that. You can actually just cut off all the people who you know things have gone wrong with. You can cut off all the people who you know will potentially pull on your heartstrings and pull you back to a place that you don't want to be. And you can actually go live the life as the emperor that you know you are. Respect, leadership, stability, structure, rules, and power, authority, father figure, protection, control, discipline, focus, and practicality. You can be these things. It's just that you have to let go of the people who don't allow you to be these things. They're always compromising your future. They're always compromising your goodness. They're always compromising your hands. Some people will see you do everything right. And because they see you, they got to put you in something wrong. They'll go rob a bank and put the shit in your house. Because how dare you have clean hands when I don't? For the Empress, the same thing. You knew you were abundant, nurturing, you had fertility, feminine, good parenting. Some of you guys are not barren. The man that you're sleeping with can't have kids. Or the man that you're sleeping with does something to make sure he can't get you pregnant. It's not that you barren, and then he'll run around and tell all the world that you can't have a kid and that you're no type of woman and that he needs to go find him a young thing or this thing or that thing. All in all, he drink too much. He's shooting stuff in his ding ding because he don't want you to see the lines. You thinking he going to the store every 5 minutes and you think because he come right back. No, he found a supplier that's like right there so he could go and get your snacks and he could get his supply and come back and tell people, oh, I ain't get her pregnant because she can't have no baby. She ain't doing good. She don't eat healthy. She don't do this. Meanwhile, he's shooting up in his ping ping. He's shooting up between his toes. He's shooting up everywhere. He popping pills everywhere. But you, my dear, you ain't no woman. Because God forbid they find out he getting high as Fat Charles' ass and can't put a baby in. He not, yet alone stay up. But you keep, oh, we doing good. Yeah, I love my man. Not knowing this man got you looking like a whole piece of shit out here. And he's effing the people that he going around because they feel as though they helping him leave you because you ain't shit. Meantime, you the best woman that man done ever had. But because he can't face the fact that he getting high as Fat Charles' ass, taking y'all mortgage money to the block, got your kids sitting in the car while he doing it, He makes you look bad because nobody knows that you're a good woman. Nobody knows because you haven't caught the fact that this man gets high. And why he high, he talk about you like you the reason he get high. He might even tell somebody you put him on it. Be careful who you be around. When you go around certain spots that you know your spouse to been and people act like they can't speak to you and they treat you bad and you know you ain't never been a bad person, trust and believe that person or somebody that been around there talking your name down. And it's not because it's the truth, it's because they can't face their truth, so they got to make people not talk to you. They got to make people not talk to you. They have to paint the picture that you are the enemy so that they can be in peace while they get and do all what they got to do. There are people who are invested in making you look bad because if they look bad by themselves and you innocent, people would stop helping them. People would stop giving to them. People would stop trying to feed them. I love it when somebody say, she ain't feed me. She ain't feed me. I never feed your ass again. I never give you no water again. I never shake that salt and pepper shaker ever again. You talk bad about me and my stove because I know what I do. You feel me? So you got to be like that. You got to see who's been thinning things out around you because they thickening things up around them. You understand? Some people are thinning your resources because they distributed them around them. You ever wonder why a person stopped helping you out and you like, hey, this person, I used to call this person and get this person to do a few things for me and I would pay them and it'll be all right. Come to find out, you finally talked to this person direct and they said, oh, you wasn't getting no money. They said you was stealing and this, and you like, hold up. At the time when the person was telling you this about me, it was them that was stealing from me. Do you know this person went in my purse and stole my money, then came spent it with you and told you I was broke? While they was spending my money with you, they told you I was broke. So that when I asked you, hey, you know anything about so, you believe there's something wrong with me. Because they had money when they was talking to you and they might have gave you some money. So now you like, shoot, this person getting money. That other person must be broke. Nah, bitch, that was my money they stole. And now they stealing my goddamn identity by telling you that I'm the one that broke. But did they tell you where they got that money from? And some people actually wanted to believe a lie about you. Honestly, collective, somebody wanted to believe a lie about you. Some people just didn't like you anyway. And any lie, it didn't matter. They knew the shit was a lie. They just wanted to tell it anyway because it felt good to have more than one person tell a lie on you. So they're united. I call myself the matchmaker sometimes. I call myself the toxic matchmaker because I bring a lot of people together to lie. A lot of people seem to like to be together and lie. It feels good hanging in the gutter as long as you got somebody to lie with. Your feet dirty? Oh, my feet dirty. Let's talk about her. Her feet clean. Let's tell people that she kicked the dirt off of her on our feet. But it don't work like that. You got to take a bath. Is your mama trans? Do you have a ding ding? Do you know how to use it? Does anybody enjoy it? Do you use Bengay? Let me know. You see the bio when you sign on to the page, so please stop trying to treat me like you treat your brother in the dark when your mother doesn't know. Okay? So yeah, because a lot of you should go to jail for the stuff that you did to your younger siblings and you made them hide that secret because you know you are a creep and you should be in jail. You know you are a creep when you're sitting there fantasizing about a person that you cannot have. You know you are a creep when you're fantasizing about the guy in the gym and you're another guy. Yeah. Those are the ones that usually come and harass me, the ones who are so deep down in the closet that they just find a random stranger to just dump on. So if I helped you a little bit today, you're welcome. So yeah, there are thieves that are running around on your page platform, around your home, anywhere where you make money, trying to make people see you in a bad light, trying to make people see you as a trans, trying to make people see you as a junkie, trying to make people see you as crazy, trying to make people see you as a common threat, when really the threats come through in the chat. Because why are you so threatened by a person that's not bothering you? Bothering people who are unbothered is like, must be a new thing. All right, so let's get a second spread and see what else is going on in these spiritual streets. I've been on for 135. Happy to the spring break that everybody is going to through, and make sure you make some good stuff. Get on that grill. It is a little warm. You can turn that heat off for those who don't need all that, because I keep a comforter on all year. Doesn't matter. So we have Capricorn, we have Virgo, and we have Aquarius energy again. That's the water bearer, and this water bearer is traveling. So we have the 496, that's 10, that's 19, that's wish fulfillment. So wish fulfillment is to be saving money, security, conservation, scarcity, control, frugality. So someone is actually starting to save, starting to realize that they need to put up for a rainy day, and form, completeness, foundations, progress, power, stability. So someone is definitely ready to move forward. Capricorn, Virgo, or Aquarius energy, or it take what resonates, sun, moon, rising. Someone is definitely saving money. They're ready to plan out their security. They are making these plans. Someone is actually starting to strategize. If they are not out of the woods yet, they are starting to make plans on how to. They are contemplating what to do, what pieces to put in place so that they can make a smooth transition. Uh, this person is looking at the fruits of their labor. They're looking at the rewards, and they're trying to envision themselves in luxury and self-sufficiency and financial independence. So someone is seeking financial independence, and they're going towards a life of luxury. 4994. 49, 94, 96, 69. Cancer. So I got Capricorn, Virgo, Aquarius, no, yes, maybe. So all these, it's nothing, is endless possibilities. It all depends on how you move and plan things about. And it really is important who knows what your plans are. The more you hold things to your chest, the more you're able to control the outcome. I'm not saying that you may not have to share certain details with certain people, but if they don't need to know, why are you telling them? Some people only want to know your business to get ahead of it so that they can plan how to mess it up. Some people have a phone call, have a text, have a number in their phone that they call every time they see you do good. And depending on that phone call, you do good. And depending on that phone call, your ass gets stuck. So stop telling people your business that ain't in your business, that don't need to be in your business, because that's how a lot of us get sabotaged. We give people unnecessary information from their life, from your life. Remember, in this thing, they say every time they see you, they asking you something. When you see me, Lyman, don't ask me nothing. Interrogation start. You want to know my whole life story. How you looking? Good. Long time I ain't seen you. When you had a dinner, what you had for dinner? How what I heard, and they bring you some drama too. Sometimes a person might offer you a bit of information to see what you either going to add to it, or if you got some information of your own. Be mindful of people who are just given to you to hook you in. I remember a person told me told me someone else's life story as their life story. Weird. They told that they was abused, they was robbed, this and that, but it wasn't the truth. The reason why they were telling me an emotionally drama story was because they wanted me to trade stories with them. They wanted to trauma bond. But the problem would have been I would have been one-sided trauma bonding. They would have been getting my business, but I would have been getting somebody else's business. So be mindful of that. Some people are just talking to you to talk to you to get stuff out of your mouth so they could use it against you or they could go talk about you. Some people are really, I'm telling you, the older you get, because a lot of this starts in childhood. That's why a lot of people started telling their kids, don't spread my business, this, that, and the third. But a lot of times when people were saying, don't spread my business, they were saying, don't get me locked up. I'm telling you the truth. A lot of times when your parents were saying, don't spread my business, they were saying, don't get me locked up. They wasn't talking about the fact that they wasn't worried about the fact that you might be getting molested. They might not worried about the fact that you could get they worried about the fact that you could get taken out by CPS, but they're not going to change the conditions that put you at risk for CPS. They're just going to not want you to tell so CPS could call. So who's wrong? And then, God forbid, they find their way to somebody's church later on in life after they done had you lie and steal and do all this stuff for them as you were growing up. Then they find their way to somebody's church. Now they say, I done raised the demon. They done accepted all the drug money you done brought in the house, but now you is a monster. You is nothing. You is embarrassing. But let you bring some of that funny money in the house. They spent it. And then some of y'all done spent all that boy hustling money and sat there and smoked up all his stuff with your friends and then sat there and called the police on him because you didn't want that boy to go crazy. Oh, I've been around some wild situations. You'd be like, huh? Yo, she just got high. All your stuff and they called the police on you. I'm trying to tell you. You be careful out here now because it's some real wild stuff in the streets. And it's somebody that's sitting there and they saving up money because they know this is going to be the best move ever. They're leaving people behind. Yep. This water bearer, this Aquarius, and this energy, this Capricorn, this Virgo, this Cancer, and this energy, 496. These people are taking their emotions, they packing them up, and they realize that because they have been so open and so caring and so trusting with people, they got a shitload of people they got to let go. They got a whole bunch of contracts they got to bring to an end because they were good to people who were not good to them. They kept being around people who were going to use them. There are some children, unfortunately, some young adults that are coming up and they're realizing that their grandparents and some of their parents have been using them, using their name, using their jobs, using their clout, using their little friends. There's a chick right now that's realizing that her mom, even though her mom ain't that old, is raggedy. Not that the mom slept with the boyfriend, but the mom flirts with the boyfriend so that she can bring other youngins around, so that he can bring other youngins around. And God knows what the mother has gotten into, especially if you got a mother that lets your boyfriend come around when you're not there. Look, I stopped putting things past folks a long time ago, okay? So be mindful. You seen Tokyo Tony and Black China and how that Tokyo Tony don't look bad. She doesn't look bad. She doesn't look like Angela, but she doesn't look that bad and she's not that old looking. It's men that are the same age as Black China going after Tokyo Tony, not because they're going to respect her, not because they plan on trying to treat her like a queen. It's because they would love to disrespect somebody's mom. They would love to go to Angela and say, I hit your mom and talk stuff about her. And because Tony carries herself in such a way, she don't know that she's opened up a big old portal for her daughter to have to fix. and possibly her grandkids to have the fix. And this is why some old folks can't teach things, because they haven't learned their lesson and they haven't gone to go sit down somewhere. Some of you got elders that want to be relevant too much. Some of you have elders who was actually trying to get their interview through having you. And because they didn't have a beautiful or talented child, they just went on and decided to just be a local criminal because they couldn't get an interview with Epstein. Because they felt like their baby wasn't cute enough or their baby wasn't talented enough. Or some of your parents just was jealous of the fact that you could possibly be a star and did everything, or picked a favorite sibling over you and said, I want that sibling to make it instead of you. Knowing that the sibling ain't got not one bit of talent, but because it's you, I want you to have it. Because you seem to have it easy in life. I don't want you to have nothing because things come too easy to you. I want you to give all your blessings to that little raggedy motherfucker I had, because they raggedy. So you're expected to compensate for other raggedy people. And you're mean if you don't compensate for them. Even though that's just not my problem. Not my problem. That's just not my problem. Yeah, there's somebody in your family right now like, damn, why did they get them genes and I got these genes? Had nothing to do with me. Ask God. Some of you better not ask your regular ass parents, because they don't know either. They don't even know why they screwed each other most of the time. So, ask God. And that is the clear truth. Go on and ask them, because yeah, so there are water bearers that are in different parts of their life. Some are saving money, some are actually living a life of luxury, but they all also know that they have to sail on to calmer waters, because they have people who gossip, they have people who lie, they have people who trick, they have people who pretend, they have people who manipulate around them. And they're realizing the reason why there's no more family reunions, there are not a lot of group events until it comes to the funerals, because during life, we disrespect the shit out of each other. The only time people decide to have some respect or try to shut up and listen is when it's death and money on the table. And this is why we don't have too many family reunions. And if the ones that are having family reunions, they're just having them to keep track of everybody who's got money. I said it. Are you going to contribute? Are you going to contribute? Are you going to contribute? And if you don't contribute, I bet your ass don't get invited the next year, or they're going to treat you like shit when you come. Even if you just bring in cash. They wanted to run your shit before you got there. Some people ain't even family. They just corporations that happen to have blood and blood in kind. A lot of people are not in families no more. You is in a monetized corporation, and y'all happen to know who mama and daddy it is. I suggest you go forward and build the family that family's you, because I'm trying to tell you, just because you was born to these people don't mean you belong to these people. You belong to the Lord first. You can pick where your body feels comfort at, because if you have to be everywhere that you found yourself be, and you were supposed to be stuck there, where would you be now if you did not decide to get up and go? All right, so we're going to get one more spread and then I'm out, because I want to give all the direction that I need to give before I sign out. All right, so right now I'm just helping us open our eyes to the fact that you may be surrounded by snakes and you don't know. They look like flowers, but you are surrounded by snakes. And some of these snakes you love and you hug and you dress them up really cute. However, you're feeding your own snake, especially when they start. How tall am I? We the same height. We the same. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. We the same height. We We got the same shoe size. We about the same. They sizing you up. They stretching you. They stretching out next to you to see if they can consume you. Yeah, it's who you think it is. We are in the biblical times. Anybody can decide that they want to turn and be your enemy. Anybody. So pay attention and use discernment. That snake stretching out, that snake is making measurements and is trying to see if it's got what it takes to consume you. Queen of Swords, Seven of Cups, Queen of Pentacles. All right, so somebody's cutting it off. They're cutting off. It's not a lot of noise, right? A lot of noise. Okay. So, Queen of Swords, Seven of Cups. Mind your funky business. I just seen the screen move and it just went straight to highlighting mind your funky business. I show is. Just leave me alone. When you see me, leave me alone. Unbiased judgment, independent, clear boundaries, direct communication, clear-minded, perceptive, opportunities, wishful thinking, choices, illusions, searching for purpose, daydreaming. Queen of Pentacles, nurturing, practical, providing, financially, a working parent. So this can be man or woman. This is a lot of feminine energy, which means that we're on the softer side of seeing things. Now that we see, now that we know, we're watching, we're paying attention, we're more observant. While we're taking care of the things that we have to take care of, we're paying attention and keeping our eye on the prize. We know the things that we want going forward, and we are prepared, whether it be masculine or feminine. This is a feminine read for the masculine and feminine. This is just saying that the men are no longer making announcements before they cut people off. They are now starting to be wise enough to shh. Okay? There are some men that are noting that when the machismo ain't working. Sometimes you got to dial it down, make your plans, and go peacefully. Okay? And on their mind, they got their mind on the prize. They're going to hold on to whatever they got, and they're going to keep it pushing while still providing and nurturing for themselves and who they deem necessary as they make their exit. Now, for the feminines, this is also true. Some women are realizing that they operate too much on the masculine side. They're always rah-rah. They want to crawl across the table. They want to jump. They want to beat people up. Some women are realizing that their best weapon is to shut up. I would acknowledge you, but sphincter just like popped up as soon as I looked at your mouthpiece. Anyway, there are some women that are quieting down and they're quietly packing and they're stopping the unnecessary spending and they're starting to save so that they can nurture themselves and move on to calmer waters. Because you allow a person to feed you, you will allow a person to starve you. And they're now starting to realize some of the stuff that I'm buying, I'm making someone aware of my financial situation. They're starting to be mindful of the movements that they make because some men are able to study a woman enough to where they actually know economically where she lands. There are men that do that. There are men that are professional and they do that. So some men that are not professional that basically don't study life, they study people so that they can live off of them. Yeah, those men, those type of professionals, they live for that. They watch Instagram, they watch YouTube, they watch Facebook, and they take all the information that they get. They go to the bars. They take all the information that they get. They sit with their sisters. They take all the information they could get. They go everywhere and they compound the information. And this is how they pick their next lick. This is how they pick their next mark. This is how they pick their next victim. This is how they pick the next person who they're going to use. This is how they pick their wives. And honestly, now that I've, you know, been doing my research as far as other wives' experience and had my own, like, wife isn't the title that we used to think it was now, is it? For some, just like for some, girlfriend is a great title, just like for some, wife is a good title, just like for some, friend is a good title. For a lot of people, we're finding out that these titles that they trump them up to be ain't the damn titles that they are once you get them. For a lot of men, wife just means the bitch I settled for. For a lot of men, this means the woman who did not leave. Not the woman that I did not want to leave. And a lot of men won't tell you that. They hate to admit to someone else, I ain't want her to leave. They'd rather make the story, I made that bitch stay. It's weird, but that's the story they'd rather tell. Because how dare they simp on you and say it? They'd rather be in a dominating situation. They'd rather be, I told her she can't go nowhere. I told her she better stay still. That's mine. They won't say, it won't make them feel good to say, I needed her and I love her and I want her all the time. And I think about her right now. And boy, like they don't want to be like, vulnerable like that. So they have to come off as monsters and, kings and domineers and things of that nature. So, like I said, some titles aren't as good unless you plan the part. So, for some men, when they say wife, it is a good thing because you know how they get down. They respect, they protect, they cajole, they support, they make laugh, they do a little kid play with them and they love them and they hold them gently. When they put their hands to them, they never put their hands to them with intent to hurt or harm. They always put their hands to them with intent to encourage and to stimulate and to incentivize to be more of what she is. So I'm not going to say that just because a person uses the word wife, that means that they've settled. Because for some men, when to get a wife means settling. And for the men who actually feel like that, most of the time they ain't all that anyway. So they always feel like they're settling because they would have to admit that someone fucking settled to them and they're trying to figure out how in the hell did they trick somebody into settling to them when most of them wouldn't stay with themselves. If they had to tell the truth, they wouldn't stay for themselves. Most men know that they're disgusting. And that's why when you meet a man or a woman that actually puts some respect on it and they hold it in high honor, that's good. That's why it's bad when a person who respects marriage meets up with a person who doesn't respect marriage, because it destroys things. The demon and the devil comes out of that because you are destroying a positive with your negative. The thing was supposed to be positive from the beginning. Yet you brought a negative connotation or your negative stuff over to a positive situation. We have to worry about this person. And this is how God usually looks at it. We have to worry about the person whose heart was intact, possibly becoming you. We were already fighting a war when you entered into it, but because you came in and contaminated a good person with your bad judgment, we have to worry about us losing another good person, because marriage is supposed to come together to make things good. We would like it if the positivity was more contagious than the negativity. But because society has held on to more negativity, and the negativity hires more lawyers, the negativity gets more divorces, the negativity increases the death rate. The negativity feeds the nursing home. The negativity feeds big pharma. The negativity works. So they would rather have the negative partner who's always ready to litigate, who's always ready to, it costs money to be in a negative situation all of the time. You earn and you get and you retain more money with a positive partner. And a lot of times a negative partner knows this. That's why you need two positives together to accumulate and bring more. And their presence, they would make other people want to be married and do that same thing. But the issue becomes when the next people get married and they start to fake it. So the next people get married, they start to fake it. Say, for instance, the positive one was starting to get contagious to the negative one, right? They meet up with another relationship. They all go in together. Both of them, all of them had the positive mindset at a point in time, even though the negative one already came to the marriage negative, but the positive one was starting to influence the negativity out of the negative one. They meet up with another couple. The other couple don't have the skills, resources, or the communication necessary to get through things, so they start faking it. Right? So here it is. They started off positive, but they started faking it. So now the negative partner starts hanging with the other partner that's faking it. Even though they're supposed to be positive, they faking it. So it's unnaturally negative. They get to talking and they get to comparing notes, and both of them negative. Now, the positivity that was coming from the negative one is distorted a little bit because the negative one is negative anyway. Even though they were turning positive, they thought it was fun to poke around in other people's relationship because, hey, I ain't really that on my marriage anyway. So let me see if I can do some damage in yours. Yeah, I don't really like my wife. You gonna stay married? Yeah, you faking it anyway. Let's go to the strip club. And there we have it. There's that portal. So now we have two negative partners. We got one faking it because she doesn't know that the other one is generally positive and still going to be positive, whether the negative go negative or not. So now the fake one is faking with the positive one because now her husband that was faking it is now negative with the other negative husband. And you see how this spreads and you see how contagious this is. And depending on the positivity, the positive partner, if she hooks up with that fake partner has the potential to turn her. The same way that positive person has the potential to turn that fake partner around. But because that fake partner is faking it and not telling that positive partner what's going on, but they're hanging around in the same space, she doesn't know that some of the information may be false. And God forbid they start crossing conversations. It can go anyway from that. And this is why you have to be yoked equally, not only in your relationship, but in friendship, in association, and things of that nature. And also, you have to have a partner who respects privacy, who respects your intimate talks, who respects things that you may not want them to talk about with other people, who respects sacred conversations. This is why it is very important for you to take note of who's around you and to know who's susceptible to just giving out information just because they need attention. Some people just want attention and they are not going to use their details to get the attention. They're going to frame their life as your life and see what type of feedback they get from it. And depending on the feedback that they get from it, they may or may not claim the fame. Oh, we have some very big manipulators in the game right now, and they're getting older and older. And the worst thing to do is deal with an aging narcissist who thinks they knows all the family secrets, yet the family don't mess with them. They'll start leveraging the hell out of that. So just be mindful, okay? All right. So like I said, the Queen of Swords, the Queen of Pentacles, there are men and women right now at this time that are dealing with a lot of cutthroat people who are in their lives, siphoning out their energy, siphoning out their information, siphoning out their resources. Shoot, it's a couple kids or it's a couple people. You don't understand why this person keeps coming and parking around your house, and they get on their phone and they never knock on your door, but they park as close to your house as possible. That's because somebody in your house done shared your damn Wi-Fi, your Wi-Fi information. Somebody done shared your router information to their little friends. Or somebody done shared your damn Amazon code, your Amazon code or your Netflix. You understand? So there are so many ways for a person to siphon off of you. Okay? Watch out for the cards. Watch out for your cards and look into your transactions and see how many duplicates. Because I see it's like duplicates. You can see duplicates. Like the same amount will be charged a certain amount of times, a couple of times on the same month from the same. It looks like the same thing, but if you look into the details, it's a bunch of different merchants. It's a lot of scamming going on. So be careful of going on to links, answering the phone, saying the Y word, the positive word. Like you've got to strategically answer your phone now. You've got to wait for a few seconds. You got to listen to a sound. You got to listen for a sound. You got to listen for the pause. You got to listen for the click. You got to listen for you got to look at the AI videos. You understand? You got to really look because this culture has gotten big at the deep fake. The deep fake is real. The deep fake is in your food, in your face. The deep fake is real. So this is another reason why I don't use filters. If you've ever seen me with a filter, trust me, I do not know, and I didn't know how to get the shit off either. Okay, I try not to do filters. I try my best not to use AI because I like for things to go a little slower than they're going. By pressing the buttons and signing these AI agreements the way you guys are, you're basically agreeing to the thing going so fast, and you're agreeing to the confusion that's going to happen as a result of things going way too fast. You guys have not even caught up to some of the your grade school lessons that you've learned, okay? There are some things that you've learned in your life that you still haven't comprehended, and now you keep opting for more and more and more and more and more. This is how they get you. The stuff that you're dealing with is more knowledgeable and has more things going on than you're able to keep up with. But because you tell yourself that you was the new hot shit, remember how Will Smith did it when he was the new hot shit in Men in Black. Remember when Tommy Lee said, take your time, chill. It's a reason why I try to do things old school. It's a reason, it's a reason, it's a reason. And it's not to say that all the old ways are gone. It's just that the more things change, the more things stay the same. You can't just keep going and going off the seat of your ass and you don't think you're gonna get sat down on it. It don't work like that. So, hey, I'm giving you your 2 hours. I did not mean to stay on this long, but I felt like the message had to be put forth. There are men and women who are clearing out the snakes. They are now going off and they're keeping their eye on the prize, but they're detaching. Don't nobody got to make no announcement to you. Did you make an announcement when you started lying? Did you make an announcement when you started thieving? Did you make an announcement when you started embezzling? Did you make an announcement when you started hiding my mail? Did you make an announcement when you started hiding that man? Did you make an announcement when you started hiding that woman? Did you make an announcement? Right. I don't have to make an announcement. Stop trying to make me be the good guy to your bad guy. Stop trying to force me to keep being boxed in to be good when you always been bad, but you came in acting like you was good and you felt as though I would have some type of nerve to come at you. How dare I cuss you out when I'm supposed to be the nice person? I'm supposed to be forgiving. You are fake because you didn't let me steal from you. You are fake because you didn't let me lie on you. You are fake because you didn't give me another chance to kill you. You are fake. You didn't let me destroy you. You didn't let me come over your house to use you. You didn't let me run up your bills, your phone. You didn't let me run up your blood pressure. You didn't let me mess up your credit. How dare you? You so phony. You so fake. I told my friends that I could do it. I told my family that you had done it. I told everybody that you was a liar. How dare you tell the truth? Yeah, somebody needed that for you. So how dare you not make no announcements? Everybody, this has been Nyx. Remember, don't come for me because somebody's definitely had a time spending you. Bye bye.